All right, so now we're gonna get to building our own Titans. I think that'll be pretty fun. So I guess, let's see, hold on.
All right, so Amy's gonna now show us how you can actually build your own Titan. And we're gonna go through a set of different concepts. So we're gonna try to not make this a boring college lecture, but really we're gonna try to make sure we cover some key things. So Amy, at a high level, can you tell us what are the main concepts that you're gonna cover that go into building a Titan?
All right, so I think what we're gonna cover right now is building a really rough Titan base and then like getting all the health points on it to work right so that you have a fun Titan that doesn't just fall apart when you touch it once. Oh, can you not hear me? Okay, there we go. And you also don't want one that you're shooting at for 10 minutes before it finally decides to explode. So we're gonna cover some basics like that. We're gonna get more into weapons and aesthetics and stuff in future episodes. So from the main menu, we have the Steam workshop. So we can go to build a Titan. I already have one started right here, but I think, let's see, I'm gonna start here. Normally I'd make a Titan. I'm gonna call this Amy's Titan. Create it, and all Titans consist of a core, and you can pick from any one of these. So I'll take this one, and then from there you've got all of these points that you can put legs, arms, whatever you want on. So you can like select those and add pieces. We've got a bunch of different pieces. Those are all arms. We've got some wings, shields, shiny decoration things, jaunty attire, bunch of different weapons here. So you just pick that and then just build off of it however you want to.
And just to say, she got to the Add Pieces button by hitting the Mounts button in the lower left-hand corner.
Yes.
Which may be obscured by our faces.
Oh, okay,
yes.
well.
Oh, well.
Well, it's under our faces. It's a cool place to put it, right? So I actually already have a Titan mostly built here because
We can move our faces to the top corner while we're building Titans.
That's true.
Oh, okay.
Amy, can I grab that for a sec?
Yes.
Let's do this. Let us go ahead and
I don't think I actually need this on right now. There's really not
There we
much
go.
for sound.
Go for it.
In here?
All right. So our heads should fly across
There
the
we
screen
go.
now.
Okay.
Whoa!
Whee!
It's like magic.
Yeah. Right, so building the Titan base is really just a bunch of experimenting. I can't really tell you how to do it. You can look at what other people are doing on the Steam workshop and just basically have fun with it. This is just one that I built. It kind of looks like a chicken.
And both abstract and non-abstract shapes work. So a lot of our earlier Titans don't look like things
Yep,
that
some
you
of them.
recognize. But then we saw in the workshop lots of people making giant dragons and
Right.
hens and fish.
That was pretty neat.
Those are easy. Nobody can
Yeah.
do chicken.
Yeah,
Except David.
Amy made a chicken.
Right. So then we can play this chicken.
Let's fight the chicken.
We're gonna fight the chicken. Unfortunately, the chicken doesn't have weapons yet, so he's just kind of gonna sit here. I put a few animations on him, but
So like most chickens, this chicken isn't really that dangerous. I mean,
No,
chickens
he's
aren't
really
that hard
not.
to fight.
But it can
And,
fly, unlike most.
and he's really weak too. See, I just picked his entire wing off. That's kind of so he's a sad little chicken right now. So we're gonna give him some armor.
So someone here is asking if you can peek under those thrusters. I think we just destroyed the thrusters.
Yeah. So the thing right now is you can select any of these pieces.
No tactics, you were a dirty, dirty person.
And if you go over on these tabs in the bottom, if you go to the pieces one, there's this little section called health. And by default, they're all set to 1, which means that 1 bullet will kill any of them. So that's kind of no fun. And we want the pieces to stay there. So I can go here and bump this up to like 10 or something.
So Amy, to be clear, you actually have to set health on every single piece.
Yes.
So it's not just
But-
about making a pretty chicken.
Right. There is a little bit of a shortcut though, because see I have like 3 or 4 of these pieces here, so if I select one and then Control A, I got all of them, and I can modify their health all at the same time, so I can set them all to that. I could even Control capital A, get everything, and just bump the health up a little bit.
I forgot we put that in.
Cool. So now he's a little bit tougher. You might want to go in separate pieces. Like I want his head to stay there for a little while. So.
Oh, so you're gonna make the head really hard to fight. So it'll be like a skeleton with a head.
Right.
That'll be there.
And that's something you want to watch out for. Is if you're testing it and one piece just absolutely won't die, you probably want to bump the health down a little bit because it's not really fun when you're just sitting there shooting one piece and nothing's really happening. So let's see. We're gonna try this guy again. See if he lasts longer than 5 seconds. Right? Yeah, see, now he can take a few hits. Oh, got the win off, though. And without power-ups, this is actually a little bit boring because it's taking a while to shoot.
Triple fire.
But he's also not fighting back.
Rapid fire.
Of course, it's shit.
Rapid fire.
Right, so now we probably want to arm him a little bit.
Sure.
Let's see, am I doing this whole thing? Or
I can step in when you want me.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me.
Let's see, did you want to talk about how health works with weapons?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
So we're gonna switch it up here just to keep things interesting. So Elliot's gonna jump in here, and we're gonna talk a little bit about health and weapons.
So, as Amy showed, you can adjust the health on individual pieces from the Pieces tab. When you have... How the heck is this laid out? So, when you're fighting Titans, it's best to attack them from the outside in, so outer pieces are easier to kill than inner pieces. And so, the way that works is the more pieces there are in a chain down from something, the less damage it takes per bullet. So, if it has a health of 10 and it has several pieces below it, it will take far more than 10 hits to kill it. And you can adjust how much damage it takes based on the number of children it has from the child damage mod down at the bottom here. So if that's set to 1, it will ignore all of the children below it and it will actually only take 10 hits to kill. If it's set to 0, I think it might be invincible. I'd have to check that. But anywhere from 0 to 1 means it will take less damage when it has children than when it doesn't. Anything above 1 will mean that the more children it has, the easier it is to kill, which doesn't really make sense, but I left it there because, you know, I'm sure someone can come up with an interesting thing to do with that. My chair died. So where that's particularly important is if you have weapons. So let's add a weapon to... Sure.
You can stick another piece on him somewhere too.
Yeah, I think it might be best to stick something off of this web.
Like a joint there or something?
Yeah. Joint. So,
Load him up with weapons.
yeah, I'm going to put on all of these mount points here on this joint. Say...
So and Amy, we have a question here. What happens if an object is completely covered by its parents? I'm not sure what that means.
So if you had a bigger piece as a parent of a smaller piece. So if you can still destroy the parent. So if you destroyed the parent, it would also knock off the children. So you could do that intentionally. It's just a design thing if you wanted to do that. You could also, in theory, knock off like something somewhere else. You could get at the inner piece. But I'm going to add, say, blasters. Nice floating blasters. So some of the pieces have offsets like this, so I can pull them in or nudge, so you can move them left to right or up and down. So I'm going to offset those in so that they are on there. So this joint has a health of 1, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weapons coming off of it. Those all act as children. And weapons are special because when you have a weapon on a piece, you can't destroy the weapon directly. You have to destroy the piece it's attached to. So that means that you have to hit this piece a lot of times, or hit the weapons a lot of times to knock all of them off. So you don't want to have super high health on this because that's set to 20 with 8 weapons on it. It's going to, if I'll show you, it will never be able to be killed.
Neutron bomb.
We can sit here and shoot at it. I wouldn't use our get cheap piece. get full power up. So the way you could fix that is you could give it less health. So if I give it 1, that would probably make it better.
Neutron bomb.
So
Neutron
I'm curious,
bomb.
what stops people from getting maximum health? Why shouldn't everybody do that for all the Titans they technically?
Because if you do that, the Titan won't be fun, so you won't be able to kill it, and then everyone will download your Titan.
I'll save you forever.
And we all know that getting uploaded is super important.
So folks, words of wisdom, don't just make your Titans undestroyable because it's not fun and nobody will play your Titans. For those of you who haven't messed around with Steam Workshop, it's a really awesome newer feature in Steam. And one of the nice things about it is people can submit content in this game and the content gets rated, so you can rate other people's content and hopefully the best looking and best fighting Titans are the ones that move to the top. So we'll see. Hopefully people build some awesome Titans after watching this video.
And if they're awesome, they might get showcased by the devs. But so as you saw, that had a health of 1, but even then it was almost impossible to kill. And that's because of that child damage mod I was talking about before. So I'm going to bump that up to like 0.9.
Could I interrupt you? Folks are struggling to hear us over the game when there's gameplay.
Still.
So maybe turn down the gameplay volume a little bit more.
Okay. Now it's almost off. So so it still has a health of 1. I turned it to 0.9. So the children on it will have almost no effect. And now,
Neutron bomb. Neutron bomb.
hopefully I can knock it off. And there it goes. Now, of course, I could have also probably just attacked the wing directly.
Neutron bomb. Neutron bomb.
Is that probably?
Rocket.
Maybe not. Yeah, so knocked the wing off. And then died anyway. What was next? Oh,
Yeah, I
that was
think that's
next.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
Right?
Alright.
Should we jump into different weapons, or should we go to showing off stuff?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Take your pick. Why don't we look at some different weapons here?
Okay.
So let's look at some of what's possible and how you can make your Titan indestructible, but in the good way, not just by adding lots and lots and lots of health.
So we'll go through each weapon. Let's start a new Titan. We'll call it a new Titan. Pick a core.
Oh, jellyfish. It's jellyfish.
Yeah, so
I picked the wrong shirt to wear, if you notice, with the, yeah.
Dejobaan shirts.
So I will add something coming off of this, like,
Hey Elliot,
Hey,
is
what?
there some way we can put the name of the game somehow on screen because people keep asking what it's called?
yes, there is.
And maybe even, yeah, you know, that's good.
Pornography.
And mention that it's on Steam Early Access now. Maybe dash C. Oh, is that all you can?
Well, I can put a second one on. Let's see. Okay.
Whoa.
And then that might be a little big.
Okay, we are adding a title so you can actually see the name of the game.
You can see us add the title in real time.
Yep.
There we go. Everyone, in case you haven't realized, we're still new at Twitch, but we're trying to do this and we're going to try to get better at it. So any and all tips, do send them our way. Also, you can always find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Dejobaan, or Twitter, where you can find Ichiro at Dejobaan, or just look up Dejobaan.com and there's probably 10 other ways you can find us.
Okay, I guess white is fine. Stick with white. You wanted a link to
That's good.
Steam
That's
as well?
good. That is good enough. People can now see the name of the game. So for anyone who's wondering what the name of the game is, it is now on screen. Thank you, Ichiro. for posting our contact info in the chat room. So I'm curious, guys. Folks are asking what we think about Titans fighting Titans. Is that something that
we talked about that at one point in different ways of doing it. I think it's a cool idea. We just have to flesh it out. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that could be an interesting
thing to play around with, maybe?
Yeah, like either you have your own Titans and they fight AI Titans, or maybe that could be a kind of multiplayer. I don't know. We'd have to look into it, but I think it's an interesting idea. Amy?
Yeah, basically.
Amy, you were getting personal requests to do this. Folks are asking for you to do this, for you to implement Titan versus Titan.
Oh,
so Elliot, you are not.
We better clarify.
Fine, I'll leave.
You are not needed.
Hi guys, I'm not a programmer. I can't do this.
Oh wait, we need Elliot to implement.
I want to raise.
Come back, Elliot. Come back. Don't leave us now. Yeah, so guys, it's a team effort. We'll have to check it out and see if we can make that work. But that's a great idea. It's a really great idea.
Okay, so what were we doing?
So we were looking at some of the available weapons.
Looking at weapons.
So some weapons, and then I think finally we should do some survival mode.
Okay, so I'm just going to put one weapon at a time on here. So let's start with the big gun. Because it was originally intended to be a really big gun, now it's not quite as big as we expected, but that's okay. Spin. So you can also roll and tilt and pan pieces. So I'm going to roll this up. So the big gun, if we play this, should be on this side, other side. So at intervals, it shoots out these little pellet things, and wherever they hit, they create this sphere of radiation. So if I walk in, it slowly kills me, as well as doing area of effect damage when they hit. So right now they just keep hitting the exact same spot, which isn't super useful. But if the Titan was moving, so if it was spinning or doing whatever, it would
go all over the
going
place.
all over the place. Yeah.
Yep.
So those are good for sort of peppering the arena with obstacles dynamically.
By the way, I should mention, folks, if you enjoy what you're seeing and you'd like to learn more about building Titans, do follow our channel so that you'll get notified about next week's stream. Same time, same place. We'll look to do this every week for at least 3 weeks, and then we'll see where we go from there.
And if you have specific requests about what you want to see in these videos, you can post them to the Steam forums.
Yeah, Steam
Should we
forums
put
or
the link
Facebook.
to the Steam? Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
post them somewhere. So that is the big gun.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. We got a question about when are we going to get rid of the Unity GUI? We will get to that, definitely.
So
Some reason
if you
why.
notice, the Arena editor does not have the Unity GUI. We will get to the Titan editor's GUI soon. We want to redesign the entire GUI of the Titan editor before we do that, so that it's more. You don't have to rely on knowing hotkeys and stuff like that. It's just more intuitive. So we're working on it. Also, when we do that, we'll be able to have undo and redo like we have in the Arena editor. The blaster, little gun. It's a blaster like in, say, any science fiction thing, pew pew.
Neutron bomb.
Okay, it's gonna be that side,
Rapid
right?
fire. Rapid
Ugh, terrible at this. So the blaster will track you within an arc, and occasionally go inside of things, which we're gonna fix. And it will shoot these pew pew bolts at you. So if I stand still for a second, stand still where it can see me for a second.
triple fire. Triple fire.
They do light damage, but when you have them hit a bunch of them hitting you at once, it can take your health up pretty quickly, and they just spin around. So they are good as short range. At long range, it's easy to dodge them, but close up where they can track you is better. And I believe you can adjust their tracking speed, so they move faster. You can adjust how spread out their bullets are. That's their firing cone angle. What their firing arc is how much they'll track you. So if that's small, then you have to be right over them for them to track you. Whereas if it's big, then they'll track you in a bigger sphere of area. That was not English, but that's okay. The beam shooter.
Neutron bomb. Neutron bomb. Rapid fire.
This shoots out. Give it a second. Giant beams of death. If one of these, so it shoots them out in a 2D plane. They get shot at you, and then they move in a straight line until they die. So if I let this hit me, it takes out a large chunk of my health. So these, they're easy to dodge, but if you stand still, then they're going to hit you.
Going to get you.
Yeah, and you can adjust how fast they move and how often they get spit out. So they are good for sort of cutting off space and stopping the player from standing still.
Cool.
Yeah, so you can, how often and then how fast they go. Let's see. The eggplant is similar to the big gun.
Neutron bomb. Neutron bomb. Rapid fire. Rapid fire.
Actually, it's going to shoot up. And, yeah. So it shoots those radiation spheres in a straight line out from where it's going, and then they slowly get bigger. So these are really useful if they weren't facing up, but instead were facing out.
Neutron bomb. Neutron rapid fire. Rapid fire.
These create in-air obstacles, and you can destroy them by shooting the little bullet thing in the middle. So if I flew into one of these, it would be like before the screen would start shaking and turning red, and I would slowly die or quickly die, depending on how many of them in. So, these, right now, there's a large section of the arena that I can't really fly through without dying.
Looks like the sky is on fire.
Yeah, that too.
Rapid.
Let's see. The laser dish.
Folks are actually asking about whether we have any interesting power-ups in the making.
In the making. We have a giant list of cool power-up ideas that we at some point need to go through and figure out which ones we're going to add in addition to what we already have. For people who don't know the game, we have several power-ups. We have Rocket Boost or Rocket Boots, depending on who's doing the VO, which gives you more jetpack power. We have the Neutron Bomb, which, well, wins the level right now. It's a giant sphere of bombness. We have a bunch of things for your gun. So, what do we have here? Rapid fire, yes?
I'm guessing a lot of that goes in with level building, right? So when you're building a level,
Right.
That's when you get to place all these power-ups. So that's something we'll talk about maybe next time, so a little bit. I think we'll definitely get into that next time. We'll talk about how you can actually build your own levels to go with the Titans and where the power-ups come into play.
So we have things like rapid fire, you shoot faster, triple fire, you shoot 3 bullets instead of 1. Heavy fire, they do more damage. There's a shield under there, so you can have a shield for a few seconds. There's the orbital friendship cannon, which rains down rainbows from the sky. We have ideas for things like audience participation is in but doesn't work anymore currently, but the idea for that was to have audience throwing things at enemies. We had ideas, we had like disco time, right?
Yeah, I think that was-
Disco party. Any other cool ones you can
Oh
remember?
yeah, Chiro mentioned something totally unrelated. I'm
Yeah.
jumping in here.
course.
Don't forget the Dejobaan fan club, folks. If you like to actually get Steam keys for things, we send out coupons and our own games, so you can join the Dejobaan fan club and learn about it from Dejobaan.com. But that's a total aside. Shameless plug. Hey, how about some survivor mode, guys? What do you think?
Okay, we'll go into the rest of the weapons next week.
Let's do, yeah, we'll look at some more weapons. And so next week, what we want to do is we're going to dive in a little deeper. We'll show you a different Titan and show you what we've built. For this week, I say everybody do your homework, build a Titan, build some awesome Titans, submit them to the Steam Workshop. And I think sometime soon
Oh my God.
we'll run some kind of a Titan building competition So, you know, there's hopefully some neat things that we'll look to do with folks.